welcome to another episode of Weddings by Roo. My name is Roo and I'm an event specialist and a wedding planner. So if you're just joining us today for the first time, I'm taking you on a wedding planning journey with me where I'll be sharing hints and tips, recommendations and advice that are going to help you to plan that special day. So today we've got a good one for you. I'm talking about whose wedding is it anyway? So yeah, I borrowed that caption from the popular TV series on the Style Network. So what do I mean when I'm talking about whose wedding is it anyway? So yeah, you as a couple, bride-to-be and groom-to-be, you've decided to get married, to spend the rest of your lives together, and you've decided to celebrate that with a lovely wedding ceremony and a beautiful reception with family and friends. So it's all about you, it's about what you think about the wedding, it's about what you want for the wedding. But hang on, is it really? Because guess what? When you start on this wedding planning journey, you are going to be inviting a significant number of people to actually come and share and enjoy that special day with you. So you can't start planning and completely ignore the fact that there are other people that will want to be involved, that will want to have a say whether they should or not. So the reason why we're having this chat about whose wedding is it anyway is so that you can get out in front of this and identify the various stakeholders that you will have during the wedding planning process. It's better to do that now so that you come up with a strategy as a couple as to how you're going to navigate and manage the different opinions and the different thoughts and the different service providers that are going to be imposed on you as you plan. Okay, so let's start by identifying the various stakeholders that we have. Stakeholders number one, the bride and the groom. Yeah, don't forget yourselves, guys. Okay, so everybody always talks about how, oh, the wedding is all about the bride and what she wants. But is it really? Guess what? It's not. Because to all my brides out there, you can't be a bride if you don't have a groom, right? So the two of you have decided to become one. You've decided that, oh, we have oneness of mind, we have oneness of thoughts, we're going to have oneness of ideas, we're going to have the exact same vision for our special day. But are you really? Because you're basically two separate minds and you've got totally different ideas. So what I'd like to encourage you to do as we get started on this is to do this small exercise. I would like you to rate various aspects of your wedding according to what is more important to you. So on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being the least important and 10 being the most important, let's rate these various aspects. So I'd like you to do this separately and then come together and take a look at what you've come up with. So look, a lot of people will say, oh, look, the food is just as important as the music and it's just as important as the decor, but it's not true, okay? We've got brides out there that are saying, look, I'm not too bothered about the food, but I want my decor to be on point. And then Mr. Groom is saying, oh, well, decor, whatever, but I really want to make sure that we've got a great sound system and we've got fantastic food. So do this honestly and you're going to see what results come out. So I'm going to give you the different categories and then you can go into this exercise and see what comes out. Okay, so let's rate the following items. Number 1, the venue and the ambiance. Number 2, the type of tent. Number 3, the decor and the florals. Number 4, the furniture, as in the tables and the chairs and the couches, etc. Number 5, the food. Number 6, the variety of drinks. Number 7, the entertainment. Number 8, the photography. Number 9, the videography. Number 10, the wedding cake. And number 11, the outfits. So as I say, do this separately and then let's have a look at the results. Here's the really important thing about knowing what's more important to your partner. You don't really have to understand why a certain thing is important. You just need to know that it is important. For example, beloved bride has decided she wants a Dior chair for her decor, and you have no idea what this Dior chair is, but she's insisting on it, and maybe you look at the price and you think, wow, okay, that's a pretty expensive chair. But there's no point in trying to get into her head and understand why she wants that chair. Just know that she does. And in the same way, to my brides, Maybe your groom is kind of obsessed with what kind of speakers does the PA system guy have, and how many does he have, and what's the make and the model of the PA system, and you're thinking, who cares? Well, he does care. So what's important is for you to both understand that you're not going to care on the same level about the same things. But now, it doesn't mean that as a groom, you get to sit back and ignore the bride when she's now talking about her decor and her florals. You need to engage, you need to be interested. But then you can always just say, look, whatever it is that you want to do, I'm comfortable with. But be part of it, participate. And the same with the bride. You need to participate even in those things that you think are really insignificant and unimportant. So this is going to be like some serious practice for your marriage, hey? Because it's all about understanding one another. It's all about reaching a compromise and coming to an agreement together as a couple, right? Let's talk about stakeholder number 2, your invited guests. So remember that you've invited a number of people to come and celebrate with you and enjoy your special day and have fun with you. So you need to make decisions that will enable them to do so. So, just a few things to consider here. Number 1, study your guest profile and make sure that you pick a venue that is convenient and accessible to them. Number 2, if you really want them at your wedding, give them enough time to plan to attend. So a lot of people that are based overseas or wherever they are based have to make sure that they have vacation time in advance. So if you really want them there, you need to make sure that you give them at least a year in advance, send out, save the dates, so they can actually plan to be there on your wedding day. Number 3, choose a menu that you know that you and the majority of your guests will enjoy and appreciate. Number 4, choose entertainment that you know that you and the majority of your guests will enjoy. And number 5, keep time. When you keep time, it shows respect for your family and friends. Let's talk about stakeholder number 3, the family. This is always a hectic one. So guys, remember that your family is just as excited as you are about this wedding day. Probably even more excited than you are. So they want to be involved, they want to participate, they want the whole world to know about it, they want the whole world to attend the wedding. So what you need to do from the start is come up with a plan, a strategy as to how you're actually going to manage your family members from the get-go. So what you need to do is to decide what to communicate, when to communicate it, how to communicate it, and who to communicate it to. So some of the family challenges you might encounter are, where's the wedding going to happen? How many guests are we inviting to this wedding? Who's going to do the cake? Who's doing the flowers? Who's doing the decor? Who's providing the entertainment? Who's paying for what? And how much are we spending on this whole wedding? So what you need to do before you have that big family meeting and get so many people involved in all your decision making is to make some decisions on your own as a couple. So number 1, what you need to do is to make sure that you have full decision-making control of your fundamentals. So your fundamentals are those things that are not negotiable at all. Certain service providers that you'd really want to do certain things at your wedding. These are the fundamentals, and the moment you involve others, they will start to confuse you and start to give you other ideas and start to want to make decisions on your behalf. So be in full control of those fundamentals, which means you need to actually identify what they are from the start. Number 2, make these fundamental decisions as a couple and seal them before you involve anyone else. Number 3, you need to develop a really thick skin, because people are going to be coming at you with their suggestions, and you need to be able to stand your ground and say, no, this is what we really want and this is what we're going to stick to. It's not an easy thing, but it has to be done. Number 4, you need to find an influential family member and have them as your ally so they can support you in making certain decisions and be on your side. Number 5, you will need family support. Don't forget that. You can't exclude them. You will need their help. So you can identify certain areas and aspects of the wedding that you can give to family to assist you with without necessarily compromising any of the fundamental wedding plans that you have. Right, let's talk about stakeholder number 4, your vendors, your service providers. So I know this is a very controversial one and you're probably wondering, why should a vendor be a stakeholder in my special day? Well, remember, you've hired them to do a job. They're professional, they're creatives, they are artists, they are experts in their field. So you can't go out there and hire the best of the best and expect them to not have an input, not have a say in your wedding day. So only you as a couple can actually elicit the best out of your wedding vendors by being open with them, by sharing your full vision with them, by allowing them to actually give input and give you ideas as to how you can actually get the best out of them. So remember, it's best not to ignore your stakeholders. Manage them from day one, and this will significantly reduce your stress levels, and it will also prepare you to be able to manage the challenges as they arise. Okay guys, so that's a wrap for today. Thank you so much for listening. Please join me on the next episode where we're going to be talking about the wedding vision. That's the time where we start to dream, guys. We really start to dream. So thank you so much for your time. Until next time, bye.